You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table, where we chop up local and global events vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little. Get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little. Expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might clash a little. They addicted to the content, got them binge watching. You don't like it, then you uninvited. Bet your friends watching in the house or in your job parking lot before you clocking. They don't wanna miss a second of this HT content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation, bring it to the table. But if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn your back and tell you sorry, try again. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Happy snow day to those of you who are in my neck of the hood. It just started snowing about an hour to 2 hours ago, and I just uploaded a little short showing y'all the fresh snow that's falling. But yes, as I posted earlier today, this morning, we are expecting up to 6 inches in total. They said 2 to 5 by tonight, and then by tomorrow before it dwindles off 1 to 2 more inches. So hopefully the forecast is wrong. That's what I'm hoping, because tomorrow is Friday and don't nobody want to be stuck in the house over the weekend. Like, man, this really, really sucks. We went from 77 degrees 2 days ago. And now it's like freezing cold. I mean, it's so cold outside. And then we're not only going to have the snow, but after the snow dies down, then it's going to be blizzard-like conditions. So the wind is going to pick up really, really fast. And so then we're going to be dealing with blizzards. So again, to my people in my neck of the hood, stay warm, stay off the roads if you don't have to be out there. But if you do, drive carefully, use that defensive driving. Make sure you got some emergency supplies in your vehicle, and, keep in contact with your peoples. Let them know where you are, where you're going, when you got there. I'm on my way. I just got here. Okay. Safety precautions. But what's up, Jess Andrea? Hey, boo. You said you got sick Wednesday morning and had, I hope you feel better. I was just talking to my bestie who lives in Florida, and hit her up because we do for a girls chat. When we get to chat, we'll be on the phone for 4, 5, 6 hours, like literally. And she was like, I can't today. I'm not feeling well. I got a bug. So I can't talk to my bestie today. And then my other homegirl, the one that's battling with the breast cancer, she just got out the hospital again. She was in the hospital for like a week going through it. Child, a lot of stuff that she discusses, she makes public. Ever since the first day she found out she had breast cancer, she has always made it public. She wants everybody, her friends, family, everybody to know every time something goes on with her, no matter how big or small. She's documenting everything, and she comes on live on YouTube. I mean, not on YouTube, but on Facebook, and updates us all the time. And so remember when I was talking about the moo party that I went to about a week or so ago? That was that friend. I told y'all about her, my friend. So she has stage 4 breast cancer. So we're always praying for her and, trying to, help keep her uplifted and positive spirits and stuff. But it seemed like every time we turn around, it's something else. And now they done found some more tumors in her. So that's why she was just in the hospital again for another week. So please, if you have a little prayer in you, some real prayer, the prayer warriors, if y'all got some real prayers to send up to the good Lord, please send them up for my homegirl. But yeah, that's who the moo party was for about a week or so ago. So anyway, let's get into this commentary. What up, Mel? How you doing, boo? You said it's 76 degrees today and supposed to be in the 20s next week. Flute, thank you. I was thinking about having a barbecue the other day when they said it was going to be 70. It actually got up to almost 80, I think. And I was thinking about having a barbecue, but I was like, nope, because I looked at the rest of the forecast and they said snow 2 days later. I knew if we would have had a barbecue, shit, everybody be sick right now. Everybody. And I'm already dealing with little sniffles here and there. So yeah. But I'm glad that you are feeling better today, just Andrea. But you said I heard they say he was calling my name. Yes, I was. I was like, where's she at? We supposed to be on her show supporting her. And I was like, if she's out there, I hope she know that, I'm still available. I watched the show. I said, I watched the show. And I started talking about it a little bit. I said, nope, I ain't gonna tell y'all too much because just Andrea is going to talk about that docu-series or documentary about the American Top Model on her channel. So, but I did put it out there. I sure did. Yesterday when I went live, I was like, somebody go tell Drea that I watched the show. I watched the show. And hey, Taylor May, how you doing, boo? Okay, first of all, I want to say I'm glad Lolo got to Vegas safe and sound. Last I checked, she's in her hotel. She's in her hotel with her scooter. She got everything she need down there. She is looking forward to having a wonderful weekend. I think she's going to be down there till Tuesday, hooking up with Ness and I don't know whoever else. But child, they is not trying to let Lolo vacation in peace. This morning when she was on the plane, somebody was in her chat talking shit. You took that money from Lemon. He gave you money to fly to kick it with him, and now he can't go. And you and Tracy kept the money, and da-da-da. They was just going in on Lolo in her chat this morning while she was on the plane. Like, don't nobody need that negativity and they about to catch flights. You got to be in a positive mind frame to be a gazillion miles up in the air. Your life is in the hands of a pilot and maybe a co-pilot. Okay. But yeah, they ain't trying to let Lolo be great on this vacation. And then when I was just in her live a little bit ago, somebody else was giving her shit in her chat talking about what do they call her, a loser? They call Lolo a loser. Remember how kids just put the L on their forehead when you was in school? They call Lolo a loser. Lolo like, get the fuck out of here, bitch. If you don't want to watch me, da-da-da-da-da. The same thing she told somebody this morning in her chat while she was on the plane. If you don't want to watch me, there's a lot of other people to watch. But yeah, there are some people who really think that Lolo should have gave that money back. And Lolo said, yeah, he did give me $250, but that was only half of the plane ticket. So Lolo had to come up with the other half, of the plane ticket. Now, me personally, I don't care one way or the other. Lemon was supposed to go down there too. Tracy was supposed to go down there too. And a few other people are supposed to go down there. But, Lemon lost his channel. And he's like, butthurt from that, bummed out from that, as he should be. I would be too. And he don't want to go. And then on top of that, he said he wouldn't get his check. The check that we supposed to get today, because they down there like a day before we supposed to get our checks from AdSense from YouTube. Now, of course, they checks is a lot bigger than mine. My checks be struggle checks on YouTube, right? Because I don't be getting those gazillion of views like a lot of people do, but I'll take what I can get. Buy me a loaf of bread, put some gas in my tank, buy me a bottle. That's about it. But yeah, they ain't trying to let Lolo be great down there in Vegas. But she did show off her room. She got a nice room. I saw she had a nice shower, but I didn't see no tub. And I was like, well, I guess most people when they on vacation, they don't be in tubs, right? They normally shower, right? But normally the hotels that I've been in, they had like a tub with the shower together. But she only had a shower. But maybe that's a choice you get to pick at the hotel. I don't know. I might prefer a tub because sometimes you be so tired when you go on those trips. You just want to soak your old bones in a tub. But she has a nice hotel. But yeah, so I hope I really hope and pray that Lolo has a much better, a much more nicer time than she did last time. And we all saw that foo-la-la. The last time she went on a trip. And she's going on a trip with some of the same people. So I just hope and pray there don't be no fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? Mm. You said she better tell them folks to KMA and enjoy. Oh, yeah, that's basically what she was doing. Lola was cussing their ass out, Mel. You know I had to read that real slow. K is for kite. M is for mother. A is for apple. Oh, kiss my ass. Justin Chris said, I don't care. You said it is storming and raining in Sacramento and Vegas is cold. Is Vegas cold right now? I don't know. I ain't never been to Vegas. I don't know if it's cold, hot, cool, warm, lukewarm. I don't know what's going on in Vegas. I've never been to Vegas. But I thought that if you travel like maybe in the springtime, you don't have to deal with so much heat. But I don't know. I definitely don't want to travel nowhere where it's cold. Unless I'm going to visit someone for the holiday. Like if I'm visiting someone for Thanksgiving or Christmas, I don't mind visiting someone in the cold. But if it's just a vacation, no, I don't want to go nowhere in the cold. Just for no vacation. It's too cold to get out and walk around and travel. I want to I don't want to go nowhere where it's too hot, and I don't want to go nowhere where it's too cold. And what up, the hood? Why am about to say what up to myself? What? You tag me in the comment. I'm up here like, what up, Vibrant? You said if I'm going, thank you. It got to be somewhere warm. Absolutely. But yeah, so I watched TMO's Beef Kourt last night, and I was truly entertained in my Larry Reed voice. Now she had prosecutor Jay Dunn up there, Jay Dizzle. She had Roe up there as the bailiff, of course. And then for a second, he stepped out of that bailiff role, to give like an impact statement. And when he gave his impact statement, I was sitting here like I need some fucking popcorn because I had no idea how Roe felt about that situation with him and Yusuf on that panel. When Yusuf was talking about him, Roe, and Shakim, I looked right over how maybe Roe might have really felt, deep down inside about that shit. So anyway, we'll get to that. But anyway, yeah, make sure you guys are liking and sharing the video, please. And thank you very much. Feel free to donate to the Cash App or support the goals with the super chat. But yeah, so anyway, there was a few people on the docket. The first one up was Yusuf. And Uppity came up there and spoke as well. And I kind of felt something for Uppity when she was giving her impact statement, regarding Yusuf. Because Uppity, I don't know how cool her and Yusuf are, but I guess they're pretty cool outside of, YouTube on that level. Where maybe they may be friends, have a YouTube shit. I don't know. But when she was giving her impact statement, she was basically like, she kind of felt like before it all hit the fan, before he reached out and did a copy and paste and sending all these messages to certain people in the beef sector, and before he got on the panel, or not, I don't even want to say got on the panel because I think Tulsa just recorded him and then played him on her panel. But she was like, dang, I couldn't get a heads up. You couldn't tell me what was going on. And I guess I feel her in some type of way. Let me just use Mel as an example. Mel is my homegirl. We friends outside of YouTube. Okay. So I guess if Mel got into really, really greasy type of shit, right? That was really like maybe life threatening, freedom threatening. And we talk and giggle and kiki outside of, YouTube. We be tagging each other and posting shit on social media. And then I was to come on YouTube and see that she sent all these emails to all these like big content creators. And it has nothing to do with the size of your platform. But she sent all these emails and I'm finding out my homegirl, what happened? In my QB voice, what happened? Child, in my QB voice. I was like, Whoa. So I kind of get where she was going, where she was going. And I think that she really had a very fondness for Yusuf. So I absolutely get that. Again, I would have never came on here. I would have never talked to nobody. Not this circumstance that he is dealing with right now. I wouldn't. No, 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 no. I could have a ticket for speeding, and I ain't gonna come on here and tell y'all motherfuckers. They're like, that's what the bitch get. She should have been doing 50, but no, she had to be doing. And then she hit somebody and ran over a trash can. She hit a cat too. And that wasn't even her car. She didn't. Our mother, they be putting sauce on shit and stuff like that. And then come to find out that somebody had created a fake article and sent it to certain content creators. And that's how people found out that he was in a hotel with so many people, underage people in a room and all that kind of stuff. Come to find out that wasn't even true. It's just one kid, and that is enough. One kid is enough. But yeah, we got people out here sitting around fake articles and fake tea and people carrying bones. They're just running with the story, talking about it. That's why I was just sitting here. Like, if the nigga did that shit, may justice prevail. Do you know how many times I have been sent shit? Yes, the hood table, has been sent emails from motherfuckers giving me tea, and I just be looking at that shit like, and what you want me to do? And what you want me to do? That shit be sitting right there in my email collecting dust. Okay. And what up, Miss Ray? How you doing? Yep, I wouldn't have said a motherfucking word. I don't know if he got a public pretender or if I'm assuming that's what he has, right? A public pretender, because the man done lost his house. He done lost his job. He done lost his cat. He done lost his dog. And the last thing he wants to do is lose his life, right? The last thing after losing everything else, including your pets, the last thing you want to do is lose your life. So why risk it jumping on here on social media talking to these motherfuckers? Okay? No. Be sector cartoons. No. Nope. But Roe again was the bailiff, and TMO wanted to give him a chance to give an impact statement. So he went from the role of bailiff to a witness on the stand. And she asked him, how did you feel when Yusuf did what he did to him? We want you to speak on his previous behavior, tendency for violence, just his overall character. And so Roe, after being swore in to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the goddamn truth, so help you God, he basically was saying it was a touchy situation, but he was kind of thrown off. Because a lot of people felt like if that was a female, remember when the shit happened? If that was a female, if the roles were reversed, ain't no way we have some niggas up there talking about you should have went there and you should have hit that and you should have tapped that and you should have tossed that and you should have slammed them on the bed and I would have done this and I would have done, that wouldn't have flew by too well, right? But because it was two men and gay men, and how people be putting that stigmatism on gay men. Oh, they real freaky. They like to do this. They talk about this. They on 20,000 freaky sites, swapping pics all day long, pics and spit, bringing the lube, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, honest Ro, he was up there being honest, and he told exactly how he felt. Oh, you remember that? You remember that, Mel? He was very uncomfortable. He said he was very uncomfortable, and he thought this is what Ro actually said. He thought because him and Yusuf never had any conversation like that. They never had any conversations prior to what had happened on that panel that day. So he was kind of taken aback, like, you gonna do what to me? I should have done what to who? They should have done what to me? And so he was like really like confused, and he was fucked up about it. And he even said, TMO said, would you feel comfortable? Would you feel safe if you was to meet up with Yusuf, and he was like, hell no. I feel like if I was to meet up with Yusuf, basically, the way Ro put it, because Ro was, he was, how Ro be talking. So basically, I'm gonna just sum it up for you. He was like, I feel like he would be doing a lot of rough sex to him. That's what he said. And he said also, I feel like if we were to hook up and meet up, he would just automatically assume I wanted it and I'm going to like it and I'm going to take it. That's how Ro felt. Like he would have been, like Yusuf would have been breaking some boundaries with him. So y'all just read between the line. Y'all just read between the line. And I'm not making no allegations. I don't think Ro is trying to make allege that he, but this is how Ro felt based on the conversation on the panel that day. Like that's how he took it. Like it would have been a horrible experience. Like he would have wanted to do him really hard. This is what Rose said during Beef Kourt. That Yusuf would have really wanted to do him really hard. And basically it would have been like, oh, you gonna get this shit. I don't care if you like it or not. You gonna like it. I'm gonna make you like it. I'm gonna make you want it. That's how Ro felt. And if that's how he felt, then we have to respect how he felt. Now, at first, it was a little bit of chuckling going on when Rose started talking about it. And I ain't going to hold y'all. I was up here working, okay? Working. Thank God I wasn't on no phone calls, because when TMO first asked Ro about, how he felt and shit like that, when he said, I think he would have done it really hard, it was the way that he said it. Ro can be really funny, right? Like really comedic. So it wasn't like chuckling at how he felt. It was the way he said it. And I must have spit out my goddamn water. I laughed so hard, y'all. I laughed so hard. Like it was one of those. It was one of those. Ro had me hollering. And then when I listened to I put the laugh back to the back of my throat, back in my belly, and I started listening to the rest of what Ro was saying, and I was like, damn, did anybody even take it that way? And I have to admit that there are some guys on here that I look at kind of side-eye too. The straight ones. There are some straight ones on here that I kind of look side-eye to, like I wouldn't want to be. I wish nobody to be in no room with them, because I mean, child, which is another reason why I say in my Sammy Sam voice. When Riggs and I was discussing relationships the other day, I was like, people on here, these females traveling to see these different niggas out of town, like traveling. I ain't seen one nigga in the B sector travel to see a female, but we always see besides I know she don't like nobody talking about that shit, so I ain't even gonna bring that up, but I gotta bring it up. It was no, well, okay, he did go see Tracy, so let me stop lying. It was one nigga, okay, but mostly you see the women going to visit the men, and I don't think that's practicing safety and precaution. I don't care how long you've been talking to him on the phone, because as we said when we was covering that story with the guy who was picking up women off of Facebook dating site, and he was beating them up and abusing them and doing stuff, cutting them with knives and things like that. Like, you don't never know, child. You don't never know. And as a female, I would feel more comfortable if I was in a long distance relationship and talking to somebody for quite some time and got to that point where I feel like I was ready to meet them face to face. I would want them to come to my neck of the hood, where I know every street, every corner, every hood, every alley, every gas station, every liquor store. I know any particular street I'm on. I know where the closest person to me is, family, friends, cousin, child. I know I can make a quick getaway, somewhere and find myself safe. I know where every police station is. Nope, I'm not traveling to see no nigga. Not for the first time. No, you're gonna have to come see me. And I gotta feel you out. I gotta feel you out before I fill you up, nigga. Yes. Before you fill me up. We gotta make sure you safe. Like for real. But yeah, I don't recommend that shit. But yeah, that's how Ro felt. And basically, TMO, she gave her ruling as I knew she would. She gave her ruling, and basically she found him, basically guilty. Basically guilty. But yeah, that was just an interesting take on how Ro felt about it, But yeah, so anyway. The other case was Brian. The other case was Brian. Okay, so oh yeah, also she did say that he was guilty and he was prohibited. This is Yusuf. So she did say that he was prohibited from messaging people, messaging anybody in the B sector. She said don't do it, or you might find yourself in some more trouble for violating. Okay, so you can't message nobody, you can't send any more communication within the B sector, or you'll be found in violations and you'll be brought up on charges. So that was the ruling on him. So now, next on the docket was Brian. TMO had me cracking up. She said, now, next case that we have is Brian with a few eyes. Because Brian got like 5 or 10 eyes in his name, Brian. And she was like, next up is Brian with a few eyes in his name. And the charge is treason. You said, I don't know. I think I would rather meet in a neutral place. Oh, that's what I mean, neutral. I mean, Mel, I ain't saying coming to my house now. Mel. I'm just saying if we were to meet up in person, it would be in my neck of the hood. Now, as far as going to my house, that'll come later. The first time we hook up, it'll probably be at a hotel, some real nice hotel, and we'll have our own rooms. We're not even gonna get a room together. We're gonna have our own room. And I can come to your room and you can come to my room, and that's how it's gonna be. Yep. And then maybe the next time around, the next time he can come to my crib. Maybe. And I ain't got no kids no more. I'm an empty nester, bitch. Shit, we can walk around butt ass naked. He can be standing up there like the nigga in Baby Boy. Shit, frying up some bacon. Wearing nothing but a motherfucking apron. Anyway, let me get my head out the back to Brian. So his charges was treason. TMO said the ultimate crime is treason. And of course it had to do with Brianna's channel. And Brian, he had said when the shit happened, he was taking the blame for it. He was taking the credit for it. But now he only taking credit for basically striking her channel, which I guess he didn't lie about that. But he claims he did not take down her channel. But how do we know who took down the channel? Because so many people allegedly were coming for Bree's channel. They said Shakim. They said Ness and her strike team. They said Brian. They said, how do we know who did the first, the second, or the third strike? Like, how do we know? And in no particular order. So Brian was like, I didn't know I took down her channel. He said, I just knew I struck her channel. I didn't know it was terminated. He said, I didn't know it was terminated. He said, I was just trying to get my lick back. And the lick back, for some of y'all who don't remember, the lick was a while ago. I mean, a long time ago. It was Brian and it was James' mother. Spillable TV, Treasure Lane on Bree's panel. And I guess that was going through the phase where Bree didn't want like certain things said on her panel or didn't want, I don't know. I don't know. And so he had cussed or he had like really went off on Treasure. And so Bree said, you owe me $100. So I remember every now and then Bree would say it publicly on her panel, that nigga still owe me $100. You know, Brian, you still owe me $100. But after a while, you know, some people just kind of, you know, we kind of forget about shit and forget where shit first happened and how it happened. But that was the lick back. Not only that was because he was over there talking to Pastor and Bree was in the chat. And I think, did Bree hit the panel or was she just in the chat? And she was talking shit about him on her $100 or some shit like that. So that was the lick back. Basically, he felt Bree disrespected him by coming over there to pastors and, you know, going in on him or whatever. And so he wanted his lick back for that. And he got his lick back by striking her channel. And I guess with other people striking the channel, it was terminated. But he said he's absolutely not taking credit for terminating her channel. But again, how do we know which strike terminated the channel? We don't know. We don't know. You know, but he had a role in it. But then Uppity was like, she wanted to be a character witness for Brian. And she believes that he should not be convicted. She also, you know what Uppity said, y'all? Uppity said not only should Brian not be convicted for striking Bree's channel, but he should be receiving some cash apps for his pain and suffering. Do y'all hear me? Uppity said not only should Brian be not convicted, but he needs to receive some cash apps. We should be cash apping Brian. Even though he still owed Bree $100, we should be cash apping Brian for his pain and suffering. I'm like, I know you lying to me. Because he still did strike her channel. And he still owes her $100. Which ain't never gonna get paid. This nigga told Bree he gonna pay her like $1 a month. He said he was gonna pay her $5, but then he changed his mind and he said instead of $5 a month, I'm gonna pay you $100 a month. So then Jay Dunn, she jumps in. You know, Jay Dunn's a prosecutor, okay? Jay Dunn jumps in, and you know what? Jay Dunn, girl, maybe it's because Jay Dunn had been to court before and it has something to do, you know, with this bullshit on here. But Jay Dunn said something really smart, y'all. I didn't see it coming, and I definitely didn't think about it. But yeah, Brian was like, I was just trying to get my lick back, but I ain't gonna pay her no money. She ain't get shit out of me. Whoop, 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 whoop. And then Jay Dunn was like, well, hold up. And Brian's defense, Your Honor, does it even make sense that he is paying a debt? Because the video could have been ruined when the video was, you know, deleted, like gone, kaput, because the channel was terminated. So Jay Dunn was like, I'm having a hard time understanding why he's paying a debt to a channel that has been terminated and there's no more evidence to bring to court. So, yeah, of course, y'all know how it goes. Something could happen, but if they don't bring the evidence in the court, you know, the judge can't see it. You know, the jury can't see it. The prosecutors can't see it. So Jay Dunn feels like, you know, if the channel is gone, if the channel is no longer existent, I believe the debt should be dissolved. And then she used this example, Jay Dunn. I got to give it to you, girl. Jay Dunn said, for example, what if, I'm trying to talk like, for example, you know how Jay Dunn should be talking. If Kmart goes out of business and you owe a debt to Kmart, do you still have to pay Kmart? So Jay Dunn said, I think we should drop the charges, you know, drop the money owed. Because where's the money going to go if there's no longer any petty bill? Jay Dunn's words, not mine. Jay Dunn said, where's the money going to go if there is no more petty bill? TMO was like, okay, I'll take that under advisement until the next court day. I'll give my opinion on that. And then Brian's like, fuck that shit. I'm tired of coming to court. Why do I got to come to court again? Can I just go on Zoom? I'm tired of running back and forth to court, and I don't want to pay shit. So TMO told him he can show up the next time on Zoom. But y'all, I must have missed some shit today because Brian after, they settled that shit. Well, he got to go back to court because TMO, she gonna have to take that under advisement, and I guess in the next court date, she gonna give her final ruling on the $100. But TMO asked Brian if there was anybody he would like to bring to court, and he said Pizza. And so I don't know what type of exchange him and Pizza might have had, because again, I don't see everything. But we know Pizza was upset, really upset. We know the trifecta, that's what y'all like to call them, the trifecta. They was upset. Lady Nika, Pizza, they was upset. But he feels like Pizza shouldn't be mad at him, because he's like, if it was anybody else in the beef sector, y'all would have been like, oh, this is just the beef sector. But because it's your friend, because it's your homegirl, your bestie, now you want to be mad at me and you want to take shit out on me. And he feels like Pizza should mind her own business. He said it doesn't have nothing to do with you. And he said the same rules apply for everybody. So if this is the beef sector, and even though that's your friend, he said you can't be angry with me. You can't stop talking to me, and he said you're disappointed in me. And he said, I don't think that's right. If that's your bestie, yeah, choose her side. But Brian was like, I don't know you nothing. So Brian don't understand why Pizza was mad at him. Now, in Pizza's defense, I mean, come on now. We all know why. I would have been upset if that was my friend. And yes, it's the B sector. And yes, I know how it goes. But when you have a crew, when you have a clique, when you have friends, a lot of times they stand up for each other and they fight for each other and they beat for each other. So that's also the B sector. We know the shit can be we know any given time the rules can change. People move goalposts. We know all that shit happened in the B sector. And what's good for the goose ain't always good for the gander, right? So, but yeah, he don't understand why she's upset. But we all know why Pizza was upset. And again, if that was somebody close to me, I would have been upset for them as well. So yeah, but then Uppity again in Brian's defense was like, well, Pizza, she didn't feel that way about Nesto, Resto, Zesto. And she was like, don't forget about Resto. Why is she gonna hold him, Brian, to some standards, but she ain't holding Resto to the same standards? This was Uppity was saying. And saying how he had got on her link and he was popping off, and Lady Nika had to explain. So Uppity was basically like, she's choosing favors. She's choosing who she's more attracted to. I was like, what? And then I forgot that he was her husband. So I'm like, maybe that's why Uppity said it's more about who she's attracted to. Then Uppity said, but I'm just going to mind my business. Like the girl on Living Color, like the Wayne sister on Living Color. But you ain't heard that from me. Just mind my business. But then again, the next person that Brian wants to bring to court is Ness and Pastor. Did y'all see the beef between Ness and Pastor? J Don, did you hear me? I gave you kudos because when you came up with the Kmart situation, I was like, you know what, J Don? That was really smart. Yeah, I might let you be my prosecutor if I had to go on the Beef Kourt. I might let you. But yeah, I thought that was really smart. Your take on, if the channel's gone, who they got to pay money to. Who they gonna pay money to? But yeah, about Pastor and Ness though. I guess something went down today, and they said Pastor was over there dragging Ness about her parenting like a dog. This was what Brian said. And Ness is over there threatening to get her son and her brothers to dog walk and monkey stomp Pastor. And Brian said, I feel like that's a physical threat. So Ness needs to be brought up in court. And Pastor needs to be brought up in court because he went really low and really ugly today. And it got real personal. So I missed all of that, y'all. So I guess I got to go back and watch Pastor and Ness and find out what the fuck happened. I'm like, if y'all know, y'all can hit the link. The link is pinned. Y'all know I try to give y'all an hour every day. I still got 20 minutes left. So if anybody wants to hit the link, the nasty piece of stinking link, you can go ahead. You can go ahead. You said no face, no case. There you go. No face, no case, in the words of Cardi B. And I think that's directed to J Dunn. But yeah, you got to be careful about revealing where you live. You absolutely. I done dated guys in my own city that they didn't even know where I live. Mm-mm. Nope. We gonna meet here. We gonna meet at the diner. We gonna meet at the movies. We gonna meet at the mall. We gonna meet at the park. It's so many different places to go on a date, y'all. Like, but it's a lot of motherfucking niggas out here. They want to go on a date right in their house or in your house. And I don't do that type of shit. Now, I'm not old fashioned all the way, but there are certain things that I still believe in that still works. And chivalry. Chivalry can move things for your girl. Chivalry can get things melting inside your girl. You know what I'm saying? Chivalry is good. Chivalry to me will never go out of style. And a man showing you chivalry, meeting you somewhere, opening doors, pulling out chairs, maybe bringing a single rose, maybe ordering drinks, maybe, just different things, meeting you up and, hey, let's go to the park. Let's bring a picnic basket. Just different things. Let's go for a walk. Let's, things like that. It's a lot of guys who just want to get right to it. And I ain't gonna hold you. Sometimes we women can be like that too. We can be like that. It depends. The situation depends. Like you can meet someone and you so damn attracted to them. Y'all know how it go. Ladies and gents, y'all know how it go. And y'all be like, damn, I can't wait to see them again. Damn, I hope this is the one. I hope this is the one because the chemistry is so strong and he is so fine or she is so beautiful or, stuff like that. You just be praying this is the one, because they just make you melt. They just make you melt. And speaking of that, you guys, I'm gonna give y'all another recommendation for a movie. That movie with Taye Diggs. Oh my god. That movie just broke my heart. That movie just broke my heart. The movie with Taye Diggs and Megan Good. And it's based off of Terry McMillan's book, Forever. And it is, you guys, it is so good. I mean, that movie had me on a roller coaster, but I promise you, this is how it be sometime. If y'all haven't watched that movie, child. It's called Forever, and it stars Taye Diggs and Megan Good. And those are two of my favorite characters. Hey, my boo. What's up, boo? How you doing, love? And yes, chivalry is not dead, honey. It's not dead. And make sure y'all liking and sharing the video. But if y'all looking for something good to watch, like every week, I try to give y'all a good recommendation. The Taye Diggs and Megan Good movie is old. It came out about a year ago, but I'm just now coming across that damn movie. And it was so good. And basically, without telling y'all everything, Megan Good, she's a police officer. Taye Diggs is a coach. I think is he a football coach? Football, basketball, I can't remember. But he's a coach. And no, baseball coach. And so he met Megan Good because he got pulled over and she's a police officer. And what he did was he got pulled over, but when he was looking at her, he was so attracted to her. He was like, damn, watching her walk back to her police car. And he's fresh out of a relationship because his motherfucking wife then cheated on him. So they broke up, right? So anyway, he's attracted to her right off the bat, but she ain't thinking about his ass that way. She a single parent with 3 kids, 3 girls, and all she worried about is trying to keep a roof over their head. And so what he did again was this motherfucker was racing up and down a certain street where he knows she patrols every day for weeks, trying to get pulled over by her again. And once he got pulled over by her again, he was like, she said, this time I'm not going to let you fly, because she did that before. She let him fly with just a warning. And so then she was like, I'm going to give you a ticket this time. And he was like, well, it took you long enough. I've been racing up and down this street. I don't know how long, speeding my ass off. And now you want to arrest me? Took you long enough. I've been waiting on you. She was like, nigga. And she gave him that ticket. She said, "Here's your damn ticket." And she walked away, looking all mean and rude, like she was disgusted. And when he put that ticket up and read it, it had her phone number on there and the place where they were supposed to meet. And boy, it went on from there. It's such a romantic movie, but it's also a tearjerker too. So yeah, when he saw her from first glance, he was like, she's gonna be mine. She's going to be mine. So it does be like that. Sometimes you meet people, hey, Deanna Boo, thank you for being a member. Thank you, Boo. And thank you for your support too. I was watching your live this morning. You've been going live in the mornings, I think the last few days. But yeah, I was watching your live this morning. But yeah, you was over there doing laundry and some more shit, child. I hate laundry too. I'm looking, you know what? I ain't gonna hold you, honest to God. I'm looking at a basket of laundry sitting right now in one of the chairs in my living room. I sure am. And it has my moo right on the top. You know, the moo that I just bought. And y'all heard me talk about my moo when I was recording Cam's birthday party when he was blowing out the candles and he was about to come and wipe some of that frosting on me that one of our cousins had smeared on his face. And I said in the camera, I said on the recording, I said, and I got new moo on. No. And somebody was laughing in the comment section. They was like, not the new moo. I'm like, yeah, you better not put no frosting on my new moo. Y'all, I done fell in love with the moo. Why y'all to tell me how comfortable them bitches was? Shit. They so roomy. You know, I'm a big girl, so they so roomy and shit. I just be walking around here, just moo just be flowing, dragging around my ankles, so soft. Child. Ooh. I feel like a old lady now. Cause you know, back in the gap, that our grandmas and shit, they wore moo all the time. Yeah, you said you had like 4 baskets of clothes. I fell for you. I'm like, child, I'll be having 1 basket of clothes. Okay. And I'll be over there. Those shits be sitting there and I'll be watching the basket and the basket be watching me. And I'm like, I get you later. I get you later. But yeah, what up, Unconscious Conversations? What up, Nova? How you doing, love? But yeah, you do too. I love girl was my first one. I never would have got one had my good friend wouldn't have invited me to her moo party, which I thought was kind of strange when she first said moo party. I was like, moo, you talking about the moo? I ain't got no damn moo. Can I just come with some jogging pants? Can I just come with some leggings? Something like that. Okay, hold on. My son calling. Hold on, y'all. Child, my bad. I already knew something was wrong when he called because he's supposed to be on his way to work. The boy that slid down a hill and hit a curve because y'all know it's snowing here. The snowstorm started 2 hours ago, and he done slid down a hill, hit a curve, and now his alignment is fucked up on his truck, so he can't even drive it. Like the steering wheel, we was on Facebook inbox. What do you call it? The messenger. So he's showing me his steering wheel. It just spins and just keeps spinning. Like round and round and round and round and round. You know, a steering wheel is supposed to go all the way one way and stop, then go all the way another way and stop. It's just spinning round and round and round and round and round. So I'm like, how long you been there? I don't know, maybe 30-something minutes. Why you there 30-something minutes? Well, I called the homies. I'm waiting on one of my homies to come get me. I was like, did you call roadside assistance? I don't know if I got roadside assistance. You ain't even called and tried? Well, I should have it as much as I pay for car insurance. Nigga, if you don't get off the phone and call roadside assistance so they can come get your motherfucking truck, see, and y'all say people shouldn't cuss their kids out. You're lying to me. Shit. You should have heard our conversation. The fuck you mean you don't know if you got motherfucking roadside assistance? I don't know, Mom. Call them motherfuckers. You at least call and find out. Shit, I'm looking out the motherfucking door like, should I go get his? Do I want to go out there and get this shit? But he said he waiting on his homies to come get him. Yeah, he fine. He ain't injured or nothing. Nothing like that. It's just his car, his truck. And I don't know. This is, child, this is going to be bad. It's going to be bad because that nigga, he worked like, in normal weather, his job is like 30 minutes on the interstate. So, 30 minutes on the interstate, that's kind of far. So in bad weather, it's like an hour to an hour and a half in this weather. So, girl, who you telling? Deanna, I'm just sitting here like, that's the first thing I'm going to do. Roadside insurance, my car, it can't move. Like, even if you can get somebody to come pick you up, you need to get your car towed so they won't take it to the pound. I mean, they will take your shit to the pound, even if it's a snowstorm. If that shit ain't picked up within like 24 hours or 48 hours, they gonna tow your shit. So you want to call the insurance company because you might get like, like what's they get, like $100 or something. You like get so many tolls for so much credit or something like that. I ain't never had my car towed, but I had like, well, maybe I have years ago, but I had like where I had to have a tire taken off, a donut, something like that. And I know you have like so much money you can go up to. And then if it goes past that, then you got to pay the difference. But yeah, he's okay. He's just waiting on his homies to come pick him up. But yeah. Cause my baby, he made it to work. My baby made it to work. He told me he left 45 minutes early because they both got nice long drive to work. They got long drives to work. And I really wish they didn't even have to fucking go to work because when the weather be bad like this, I don't even want them to go to work because they drive so far. And where my oldest son drives to is way out in the motherfucking Hicks and Sticks. Like Hicks and Sticks. And so, it's nothing. You just miles of interstate, nothing. So I hate when they have to drive through this type of weather, but they got to work, got to pay their bills. But that's one thing I try to teach them, though, from experience from growing up and having my children. Like before in my heydays, I used to fuck off a job. I used to fuck off a schedule. I don't feel like going to work today. It's nice. It's sunny. Somebody having a picnic. Somebody having a queue. I ain't going to work. And then when I really needed it, an off day, I had no PTO, no sick or no vacation, nothing like that. And I'm either sitting at work just sick as a motherfucker or got kids at home that are sick or they out of school and the weather's bad and they can't go to school and I need to be off. So I learned over the years, that was one of my biggest things that I had to change about myself was I don't care what the weather is. I don't care what's going on. Try not to use up your days of PTO and vacation unless you really, really need it. Because when your kids get sick or when that weather is bad and you try to call in for work and they say, if you don't get your ass here, you're going to be fired. That shit don't feel good. So I learned a long time ago, don't be fucking off your PTO days and all that kind of shit just because you want to be out there or just want to stay home in bed. But yeah, I learned a lot. So every year I'll be having so many hours of PTO turning over to the next year. My supervisor be like, can you go somewhere, go out of town, take some days off? I said, I do be taking days off. I'm just not going to be just taking a whole bunch of days off and I ain't got nowhere to go out of town. But I take days off. I take like 3-4 days off every month. And sometimes I take a week off, or around the holidays, I take like 5 days off. So I do take days off throughout the year. But I make sure I got me some holidays, some PTO days for emergency all the time. But yep, Mr. Boston, hey, what's up? You said it's raining up north. Yes, it's snowing. I just posted a video, a short. It's about a minute long of the snow coming down outside of my house. But what's up, Riz? How you doing, love? Good chat. I mean, not good chat. Good show last night. If y'all miss Riggs, he was live last night over there on the block. On the block with Riggs. Big Riggs Slaps. He was over there last night turning up on his channel. But I don't know if he'll have any more shows this week. Probably so on Friday. I think Riggs go live like on Fridays too. But yeah, other than that, y'all know we'll be live Sunday. And we'll be over there on Riggs. We'll be at Riggs' house on Sunday. Hey. But yeah, so anyway. Hopefully my son will get somewhere. His homies will come pick him up real quick. I'm just looking out the door like, should I just go get the dude or should I wait for his homies to go get him? I just feel bad because he fucking, I don't know how much would something like that cost? I mean, there's guys in the chat now. Have y'all ever heard of that? So my son just slid down the hill because the storm started. So he slid down the hill. He hit a curve real hard and his alignment is fucked up. So his steering wheel just keeps spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. It goes all the way around. He's just spinning it, and it goes all the way around. And he's like, Mom, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. And as far as work, he works really far. I can't take him to work. He works really far. I'm not driving way out there to the Hicks and the Sticks. Nope. I don't know if he's going to get a rental or whatnot. I ain't even never heard of no shit like that. I ain't never heard of a steering wheel just keep spinning. He just spinning that motherfucker like a damn, you know how you spin a nickel or spin a quarter? Just spinning around. So it's real fucked up because when he told me his alignment was fucked up after he hit the curb, I said, well, can't you just drive slow? Like, I'm thinking alignment like alignment, you know, because I done had alignment issues in vehicles before where you just got to hold the steering wheel kind of hard because the steering wheel will just have a mind of his own. Nah, that steering wheel is gone. He was just spinning that bitch. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? What did you do to your car? You said it's the front suspension. He broke a piece. Okay. Call insurance depending on what's going on. Yep, that's what I said, Indiana. He gonna have to get a rental. Because the hours that he work, he goes in at 6 and he gets off at like 3 a.m. So ain't no way I'm driving to no Sticks at no 3 a.m. pick his ass up. But I feel so bad. Yeah, and his Yeah, it's more than alignment. And I just knew something was wrong when he called me because my baby, we got a chat. So I told him, stay safe, stay warm, make sure you got your emergency stuff in your trucks. Call me when you get to work. And Cam, he hit me up. Mom, I learned from you. I left 45 minutes early. And I'm like, okay, good. You there. And so then my oldest son was calling me a minute ago when I had to put y'all on mute. I already knew something was wrong. Because I'm like, why is you calling me? And it ain't even time for you to be at work yet. So I was just praying it wasn't a car accident. Even though the car had an accident, it wasn't like, a bad accident or he got hit or something like that, because it's really slick and snowy right now. But okay, I think I'm gonna get off of here because I gotta make sure my child is good. My man child. I call him my man child. I used to call him that when he was younger because he was so big. When he was 13, he was in a size 13. He was so big. He was always bigger than everybody. But so I always called him my man child because he was so big. But yeah, the oldest. So I'm gonna get off of here. Make sure he if I have to go out there, I'll go get him myself. Y'all just pray I make it back home safe, get him home safe. Cause they said it's bad out there already. And obviously he just slid down a damn hill and tore his car up, tore the front of his car up. But if I do leave this motherfucker, I'm gonna make sure I tell the closest people to me that I'm out this bitch. But yeah, so I gotta make sure he's cool. But other than that, y'all, again, as part of the last part of my commentary, check out that movie with Taye Diggs and Megan Good, called Forever. It was really good. It came out last year, but I just saw it today or yesterday. By Terry McMillan, based off of one of her books. Really, really good movie. And then again, I got to go watch Ness and Jay Wilson because I guess they had a tit for tat this morning. And from what Brian said, Jay Wilson was over there going in on Ness's parenting, and Ness was over there threatening to send her brothers to whoop Jay Wilson's ass. So yeah, I gotta watch that. Thank you, Mel. I'm gonna try to be careful. If I have to leave, I'm gonna try to be careful. But yeah, and I got some pretty good tires. I don't know how good his are, but I got some pretty good tires. Pretty good tread on my tires. And in these type of parts, anywhere where it snows, you got to have some good tires, good snow tires, good tread on your tires. So that could have been an issue for him too. He could have had not too much tread on his tires. I don't know. Or the streets could just be that fucked up. But I'm about to get out of here, you guys. If you haven't already liked and shared the video, please make sure you like and share the video. Feel free to super chat for the goals. Feel free to Cash App $ the hood table 402. Only if the spirit moves you, okay? Only if the spirit moves you. But other than that, y'all, if y'all missed TMO's court last night with her, Jay Dunn, and Ro, go over there and check it out. I gave y'all a few key parts of it, but go over there and check it out. It was really entertaining. So shout out to TMO for another good day in court. Stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant at all times, and always remember to keep it hood. I'm out. Bye.